Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's your girl, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 5 of Nick Spencer's The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this issue was fantastic. It took a crazy turn that I didn't think was gonna happen, and it took me by surprise, to be honest. Anyway, getting into it, we start off with Peter, who is actually talking to MJ, and we see his monologue here saying, facing certain doom and existential crisis and serious damage to my already shaky reputation, I feel like I've tried everything to fix it. Uh, well, I guess everything except the thing I should have done in the first place. Talk it over with the person that matters most. And so we see him here, how he's basically saying how he thought, not being Spider-Man anymore would be like the best thing for him and for him and MJ. But MJ brings up something interesting. She says, I used to dream of a day where it would just be us, but there's the thing, is that wouldn't be us, would it? Because it wouldn't be you. As much as it might scare me or frustrate me or, yeah, even endanger me, I can't change that. I don't want to change that. Yes, the burden. No, the guy I'm in love with is a hero. He puts on a costume and risks his life to help other people for no reason other than that it's the right thing to do. And yes, that burden he carries around is why I kept pushing him away. But now I'm starting to realize it's also the reason why I kept coming back. And they're just the cutest couple ever. Anyway, the next scene here we see that Peter's not doing very good. So, one of the things with losing all his spider powers is that he's pretty much mortal now. He's pretty anything can pretty much hurt him. So he looks pretty bad right here. And so before that happens, we jump back to obviously before that happens, and Peter's trying to figure out how he can get him and Spider-Man to the isotope genome accelerator. And so his only option is to steal it, but he's not exactly the best thief in the world. So he thinks about calling up Black Cat or Felicia, which he would feel it would be a good idea, but with Felicia being an ex of his, I think that's why he chose not to go that route anyway, because instead he ends up going to Boomerang, or his roommate Fred, which we finally get his name. I never decided to look back at the Free Comic Book Day issue to see what his name is, but we see Peter talking with his other roommate Robbie, saying basically talking about the isotope genome accelerator, calling it a priceless piece of technology, sitting in the middle of a classroom, totally unguarded. Who knows how much it would fetch for on the black market, And so, knowing that Fred's listening in, he comes in and says, what was the name of that professor, And Peter basically gives it up on a silver platter, saying, Dr. Kirk Connors, and I think it's Hall 49. Yeah, that's it. Why, Fred? And he's like, I've been thinking about going back to school myself. And in the next scene, we see Boomerang packing up the isotope genome accelerator into the back of his van. And as he's closing it up, the van speeds away, and Peter is actually in the driver's seat. So, yeah, he pulled it off. Anyway, now we see Peter on top of a building somehow, where he's found Spider-Man, what is it? In a hammock made of webbing, and Peter just says something so stupid. He's like, Spider-Man, this ends now. And then Spider-Man's just very nonchalant as always. But then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just a little distracted. And Peter's like, by what? Oh, nothing. Just the giant robot army. And we see all of the Tri Sentinels flying through the air above Peter and Spider-Man. And then we jump over to Mendel Strom, who is who's laughing, saying, "It's happening. It's really finally happening." And then, as he's kind of gloating to a picture of Norman Osborn, he hears a voice saying, "You did it, Mendel. You finally showed him. I hope it was worth it." And then the voice continues to say, "That's good. You know, a lot of times people make deals with me. They end up having second thoughts." And then that's when Mendel Strom is reminded of that deal. And we see these giant centipede creatures crawling all over him and tearing him apart. So, yeah, Mendel's pretty fucked up now. And all we see here is, "I wish I could, Mendel. I really do. But those are the rules of the game." And we see this character. I can't, for the life of me, remember his name, or if I even know his name. He's probably a new character. Maybe. I don't know. I almost thought he was Death, you know, but in the Marvel Universe, Death is a woman. So, you know. Anyway. So, yeah, obviously, he's playing a big part in this series, at least. And now we see Peter and Spider-Man running through the city as one of the Tri Sentinels is running after them, and Spider-Man's not doing anything. He's just running away. And Peter's even like, "This idiot's so busy trying to save his own behind, he's not even paying attention to what's behind him." And we see this Tri Sentinel charging a blast at PD and Spider-Man, and Peter pushes him out of the way and takes the brunt of the explosion. And so that's where we see how he got pretty fucked up, you know? Like, he's not doing very good. And so Spider-Man comes to Peter saying, "Oh man, I'm so sorry that that blast came totally out of nowhere." Yeah, right. And turns out that the reason why Spider-Man didn't react is that he turned off his spider sense. And basically his excuse of it is that what is it? He says, "It's like you're trying to get to the end of a Westworld episode, and things are getting really crazy, and you can't wait to see how they made it up as they went along. And then, Spidey sense. Somebody's robbing the bank you just built a web hammock over, and they're shooting in your direction. And it gets annoying, so I turned it off." He's like, Peter's like, you can turn it off?" And Spider-Man says, "Sure, as long as you don't mind the occasional sharp, blinding pain in your brain." Ouch. I still stand by my statement that Spider-Man has essentially become Deadpool in this issue, you know? And so we see Peter, who might actually be dying, saying, "At least I get to go out trying to save somebody's life, even if it is my own, I guess. Hopefully Uncle Ben would be proud." And that's when Spider-Man says, why do you keep saying the name of a delicious brand of instant rice?" And I absolutely love how they threw that in there. And so Spider-Man ends up saying, "I'll avenge your death. From now on, I am Peterman, protector of mediocre dudes who never really made anything of themselves everywhere." And then Pete's just like, "Doesn't even matter. You might die anyway if we don't integrate or whatever. And it's probably gonna take the both of us put together to stop these Tri Sentinels." And he says, "But maybe this is what you needed, right? To finally understand that with great power must also come great responsibility." And Spider-Man's just like, "Yeah, nah." And so it was worth the shot. So Peter ends up webbing the accelerator and pulling it down, causing another explosion of blue electrical energy. And we see Peter and Spider-Man talking here, saying, like, "Did it work? I don't know. I don't feel any different." And so, and Peter's even like, "Man, you never get how annoying the jokes really are until you're on the other side of them." And so, we get this kind of, I guess I don't know, revelation between the both of them, where Peter's like, hey, like try to try to enjoy yourself, try to relax a little. You don't always have to carry the burden of everything on you. And in this last moment, we see Peter and Spider-Man merging, and in the last moment, touching their hands together. Cute. And now Spider-Man's back. He's back, and he's already trying to be funny again. Anyway, now we see him trying to figure out what to do about these Tri Sentinels, but then he remembers what Spider-Man said. Remember, you have a giant robot, and he calls his Tri Sentinel to him, and it comes just tearing through the rest of them, and so Spider-Man tries to rewire the Tri Sentinel in order to gain control of the other Tri Sentinels around him, and he succeeds. And so now he's able to essentially go back to where they first came from, which is Mendel Strom's laboratory. And when he gets there, he finds Mendel Strom in pieces and dying. And so he says, Strom, hold on, we can get you some help. And all Strom says is, guess my name. And that's his last couple of words, because he tries to say it again, but he dies. And then Spider-Man's Spidey sense goes off, and he sees the rest of the Tri Sentinels basically flying straight down into the buildings, all of them saying, guess my name. And so Spider-Man's even like, oh, come on, Tri Sentinels, I thought we were bros. And so Spider-Man has to jump, use all of them to jump out of the building before all of them can crash and basically wreck the whole building. And all of them are still saying, guess my name. And Spider-Man survived, but he doesn't understand what happened. And I don't think I do either, you know? Anyway, now we see Peter and MJ talking in front of the TV, where Peter's still trying to figure out who killed Mendel, but at the same time, you know, he's trying to be better about handling all this stuff, you know. Now we see Black Ant and Taskmaster being interviewed by one of these by this suit. His name's Garrett Stone, with the Department of Homeland Security, Metahuman and Advanced Technology Division. And Black Ant tries to make I guess I forgot what the term is, but he tries to put it together. He's like dehumanized, like S.H.I.E.L.D. was, you know. Anyway, they think that, well, they're trying to figure out why they wanted to steal the isotope genome accelerator, but they're not really answering questions. They're kind of just screwing around with this guy, like, hey, where's S.H.I.E.L.D.? S.H.I.E.L.D. no longer exists. He's like, and they're like, yeah, it's just an absolute tragedy. Which, as a proud alumni, I mean, look at this. We're being interviewed by guys in suits, and it's just, they just keep screwing with them until finally there's an explosion on the wall of the interview room, and there's this ship ready to take Black Ant and Taskmaster out of there. And Taskmaster says, old S.H.I.E.L.D. tip, never interrogate the supervillain in a room with an exterior wall. And, oh, by the way, Poindexter, we weren't after no damn genome accelerator. That wasn't the job. The guy that hired us, he plays a different kind of game. And then we see the poacher that we've been seeing at the beginning of the last few issues, begging for his life. And we see someone saying, ah, yes, the struggle to survive amidst predators of all kinds. I understand it better than you can possibly imagine. After all, I am a hunter. And we see Craven here, ready to possibly gut this guy. And holy shit, it's just wow. Like, I'm absolutely excited to see where this goes. And I can't help but say how Craven looks so much like I forgot his name. I did not forget his name. Oh, Thrag. Like, so much like Thrag from Invincible, especially with the way he had Battle Beast on him like a cowl, and we see him with the lion vest and everything, you know. It's just, oh, it's intense. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications of when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.